Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
This is very loud.
Oh.
Good morning.
Oh, Mom's starting a podcast while she's chewing nuts.
Sorry.
My next question will be,
No.
who's nuts?
Oh, we'll start
Nope.
by...
Who's nuts?
I don't do a D's nuts to my mother.
Why is she exempt?
Okay, look.
I do not D's nuts my mother.
Stop. We haven't started yet. Name.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Good morning. I'm Sharon.
And I'm the boss, Ozzy.
All right, we're all here, all four of us. Mama, are you good? You got the nuts out of your mouth?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, who's the fucked up one now?
Are we going to do
Just
this? Are we going to be
ignore.
like two kids in a playground again?
Hey, listen, don't get me started on D's nuts with you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Crazy. Hey, but that's how it goes.
I need to go to a happier place.
I feel romantic.
Shut up, Ozzy.
Just go to bed, darling.
All right, change the subject.
How is everyone doing?
I'm all right. I'm fine.
What's you wanna fill everyone in? What's going on tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow I have my final surgery on my neck, which it is going to be the final surgery because I can't do it anymore. I mean, regardless of the way it ends up after tomorrow, it's it. 'Cause I'm not going to do it anymore. I can't.
How are you feeling about the surgery?
It's all right. I had that much surgery in the last few years. It's just like going to have a fucking haircut now, you know.
Just a spine cut.
Yeah.
But you know, it sounds more. I mean, by saying that, it's probably the worst one, you know. But I have improved somewhat, I think. I was just saying to you, Mum, my feet feel like I got bricks tight. You know, when I'm walking, I walked upstairs today and downstairs for the first time in a while, and my feet feel like they got diving boots on when I'm walking.
Is that normal for this kind of spinal
I think
injury?
it's the nerves down when I did my spine in, down to my feet. It's not got all fucked up. I was thinking maybe I just need to get off my ass and walk around the block a few times.
Yeah, I mean it can't hurt.
The paps wait to ambush me everywhere, and there's always some precarious. When I take a photo when I'm like, my mouth's half open or I'm bent over, and it's like Ozzy's on his last legs. I'm far from being on my last legs.
Well, that's good. That's what we hope
I
for.
always think that's so ageist and insulting and rude. And
Yeah, but it's like the truth behind Sharon's, you know. I mean, fuck off.
Mum's
Why are
like
you
the truth
bringing-
behind.
Why are you bringing me into
No, but
this?
the other day,
anything.
it's Sharon has cursed off cosmetic surgery forever.
Lies.
You're on like I thought you had like a 2 or 3 year like tune-up. It's like a car. Every 5,000 miles, Mom goes in for a tune-up.
That's right. Everybody needs it.
And okay, does everybody need it?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Look, I do not want one of those necks in which you can flick. That will never happen.
Well, have you guys seen that they think in the next like 5 years they're going to be able to completely halt aging?
Yeah, no, I thought you.
Oh, it's too late for me. I'll be fucking 75.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great to be 75 for like another 75 years?
No.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, I
way.
was saying to your mum yesterday, I used to worry about my life ending far more when I was younger than I do now. I don't know why. Because I know it's going to end.
Well, listen, everyone's journey comes to an end at some point.
But it's funny. I still think like I'm a young guy.
Well,
In the respect of, I go, it sounds like he's 83, and I go, fuck, you know.
I just went to fucking Willie Nelson's 90th birthday celebration
That's
show.
what I'm saying. It's only like 17 years away from me.
Yeah, but he's...
But that's what I'm saying. When I go, like, I hear on the news, a guy died or somebody died at the age of 80, I go, fuck, you know, that's old. And I stop and think, and I go, well, I'm actually 40 this year, 74 this year, 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
Which is, when poor old Jeff Beck died, 79.
Yeah. you know.
So, but yeah, I don't think about my own age.
Well, you shouldn't. I think that's a huge. I think when people spend too much time thinking about their age, it kind of becomes their age.
The essence of what I'm saying is, I tend not to hold on to worry so much anymore.
Yeah.
So, which is good, very good.
Yeah, I mean, well, both of you are like, well, I'm guilty too. I love a good worry. Love a good stress, embodiment of stress.
But don't you think society is built to keep you on the edge of your seat?
Well, yeah, it's just that's what I think keeps people
fear-mongering.
I mean, the crime in this town since the pandemic has gone fucking insane here.
Mm-hmm.
People don't give a fuck.
It's the same everywhere. Not as bad as here because everyone has guns. But
I was saying to Mum recently, we used to go to go to Beverly Hills for a day out. You know, it was like nobody was around. There was people. There's all kinds of different. There was like proper shops, grocery shops. Not so many supermarkets.
Can you believe that there was a butcher and a fishmonger in Beverly Hills?
Oh, really?
In the middle of Gucci and Prada.
What, you could go get like, some haddock.
Yeah.
It was like a provincial town, that's all it was. And it was quiet and you didn't have to have a fucking armed guard everywhere.
I think the golden era has come and gone, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. But it has everywhere.
You know what's weird? Like I can remember, I was telling Pearl this the other day. I can remember being young, like probably, early 20s, maybe late teens. I'd be out late, walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Strip or whatever. And, I told Paul, I was like, when I was, younger, it was a totally safe place to walk around at night.
Oh, my God. We'd be out on the strip at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And everybody was friendly.
Yeah.
You said that like it's so normal for like kids to be out with their mother at 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunset Strip. That was normal for us, but not for like.
Yeah, this is true. Mom, you were just covering the coronation in England.
I was, and it was.
Do you know the coronation? The coronation. I thought there was way too much. It didn't work for me.
Why?
Because I'm so used to having the Queen.
Yeah, it doesn't. I will say it's definitely it just feels different. Like seeing him, I don't know. It just feels weird. You're kind of like,
I know, but he's a really good guy.
He's a lovely
and
man.
He does so much for the country, Jack.
No, but he's a traditionalist. What's that thing when you don't know what to do modern buildings?
No, he was against knocking down old buildings, especially buildings of interest and certain dates that they were built.
Yeah.
And he was totally against it. And people used to laugh at him and put up an ugly modern office building. And he was the same with organic farming. He was the same with the environment. This is 50 years ago. And people would go, oh, he's a geek. Now look at the world.
And with the climate. He was going about the climate for years.
So wait, how was what did you think of the coronation?
I liked it because it was traditional going back hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what they did. They've done it for hundreds of years, and the pomp and everything that went with it was spectacular. I mean, they had 7,000 military there. They had the Navy, the Air Force, I mean, everything. And they were all amazing. It was precision. It was perfect timing. I mean, when you think of all those horses and when the musicians on the horses are banging those drums and playing all this stuff, the horses never move. They're smooth as anything.
Because they'd get fucking cattle prodded if they did.
Probably, but they were just fantastic. And everything about it was just, so well choreographed. And it was just amazing.
Mm.
You don't see that in any other country.
Yeah.
It's falling over your eyes. Shut up. I'm not talking to you.
Don't be mean.
Well, what did
You're screaming at me.
You're always fixing me on.
Oh, shh.
we having a domestic?
Yeah.
Oh. Kelly, what have you been up to?
I just got done filming a show for 2 different shows for the Fox network, and one was a Christmas special, which felt really weird to do that already.
Mm.
And the other one was Beat Shazam, which is a really, really awesome, fun game show.
Is that American or?
It's an American show, yes.
It's Jamie Foxx's show.
Oh, God.
Jamie Foxx is an actor.
You know who Jamie Foxx is.
You've seen him in like 9 million movies. He
And
played
you
Ray.
said you met him and
Oh,
he's a
yeah, yeah.
lovely
He played
bloke.
Ray.
He's a very nice man.
He is. So what is the concept of the show? What is it you do?
Okay, so the concept of the show is to try and beat Shazam. And Shazam has millions of songs that it can tell you what it is in under 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And at first you're in teams of 2. And there's 3 teams that start. And you compete with each other to see who can get the song correct the fastest.
I'd be fucking terrible.
Oh
at
my
that.
God, 2
it's
seconds,
you
Jack.
have no. There was somebody that got one of Dad's songs in less than a second.
You have to have a certain mind for that.
Jack, it gets you. You get so anxious when you're watching it, and you get sweaty because you watch these people potentially win so much money, and it can change their lives, and it's insane.
I would just shit myself and go home.
That would change your life.
But it was really an honor and a really awesome experience. To
Was
be a
Jamie
part.
Foxx there?
No, I was filling in for him and his daughter with Nick Cannon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he was great to work with.
Here's
Yeah.
the question. Are you now pregnant with one of Nick Cannon's babies?
Oh,
No,
shut up, Jack.
shut up.
He's
Jack.
got 9 billion kids.
So,
He shakes a woman's hand and she gets pregnant.
I am sorry, Nick.
I think he shakes more than a woman's hand and she gets pregnant.
Mum's also pregnant with one of his kids.
I know, huh?
Did you ask Nick Cannon about his babies?
I didn't ask the kind of questions that you think I asked.
What?
I asked him like about
Is the
like,
family good?
You know,
Yes,
so they're
there you
still
go.
as bad as they were when they were 2.
No, but-
You know who's fucking worse though? You.
We're not arguing. I'm just curious. I, as a father of 4 kids, would love to have a conversation with him to be like, how the fuck, like, explain this to me. How do you, like, handle 4,000 kids?
4,000?
Mm.
No, he's got, how many?
I think it's 12.
12 kids, and they're all under the age of, like, 13.
I hope I can remember birthdays.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if I could have 12 kids, I would.
No.
I just can't.
I would.
Yeah, I'd have a shit ton.
You need a lot of money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I could. I don't know if I could ever make enough money for that, especially having kids in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, LA's it's a better place to rear kids in LA as well.
Mm.
Did Dad say there's better places for you to rear your kids, I suppose?
Yeah.
That's what he said. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Did you guys worry about raising us in LA?
But the reason why we came to LA was because of the dyslexic schools. That's why we came to LA in the first place. Because in England, you got to go to fucking Somerset or something to go to dyslexic school.
There was one school for dyslexia in England, and it was like
Yeah, it was a
down-
boarding school in Somerset. Yeah.
It was just, the situation that there were so many schools here to choose from that dealt with dyslexia for you guys, and so it was, not an option.
So instead of the short bus, you put us on the short aeroplane to
No,
LA.
no,
Yeah,
LA, I mean, it's got schools for every disability.
But as you just said, Jack, when you were growing up here, it was safe.
Yeah, it was a much.
Safer. Well, it wasn't safe. It was a lot safer.
Yeah, this is true. All right, let's talk Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a product for men. Basically, it's a male enhancement product. Similar to Viagra or Cialis or Levitra. The best part about it, though, is that you don't have to have an awkward conversation with a pharmacist or a doctor to get it. You go online to bluechew.com, you fill out the questionnaire. Maybe there's some follow-up questions from a medical professional on the other side of the Blue Chew world. Blue Chew will then send you whatever it is you order. These little guys, they come in a super discreet packet. It was like a brown envelope. Nothing on it. I only knew it was Blue Chew because I had to really go wait a minute, what did I order? You open it up, it's these sexy little packets. It's really cool, actually. So discreet, so sleek. You can take them at any time in the day or night, whether you want to just, if you want to have a pregame before you go out, or if you're just in the mood right then and there. It works. The stuff is awesome. I used it on my my wedding night, if you will, just to kind of keep me in the fight. I'm getting older these days. So if you want to get your Blue Chew on, please go to bluechew.com, fill out the questionnaire, and we will cover your first month free. As long as you use the promo code 666. The only thing you got to do is pay a $5 shipping. So remember, use the promo code 666 at the checkout after you filled out your questionnaire, all that, and the first month is free. Get stuck in, fellas. Make sure you visit bluechew.com for information on all the safety stuff to go with it. And we want to thank Blue Chew for being a hardened and loyal sponsor of the Osbournes podcast. All right, should we dive into kind of what the theme of this?
Sure.
All right, so I think we're going to dive into cults and crime for this podcast.
Cults and crime.
Cults and crime. Have you guys ever been invited into a cult?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
I find that really hard to believe.
Well, this is actually my favorite. This is perfect because this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. So on the internet, conspiracy theorists are always talking about, especially like Alex Jones. He's like, oh, there's sex cults in LA. He's always going on about like satanic sex cults and how Hollywood is just rampant with satanic sex cults. Have you ever been invited to a satanic sex cult?
Never.
Okay, so exactly my point. You would think, right, if LA was rife
They'll have
with,
me doing a gig.
yeah, you would be at least the spokesperson for one of them.
But
why aren't you
when
the Tom
in the
Cruise?
early days of Black Sabbath, when we formed Black Sabbath, we used to just think it was like bullshit, Hollywood, just it wasn't real.
What, with like the Satanism stuff?
Yeah, we just thought it was like a fucking thing out in movies. But then we started to get invites to black magic ceremonies and cemeteries.
Was this during like the Anton LaVey days?
Before around that time.
Okay. But like post kind of Sabbath, have you ever seen anything that made you be like, oh, this is a bit mystical?
No.
See, that's exactly my point. Like everyone always thinks like there's weird satanic sex cults in LA, and I've never fucking seen one. Have you, Kelly?
I've never even been invited to a sex party, let alone a satanic one.
Yeah. Mum, how about you?
Mum's been invited to all the sex parties.
She got married to me.
That was the satanic sex party right there.
No, only one sex party, and that was...
What? We're definitely cutting that fucking thing out. Yes, let's not do that, please.
Okay.
Now you've been cancelled from it. No, but honestly, like as a music manager managing bands in LA, and you are a more probably out of all of us on this, been more social over the last few years, and you've always gone to events. Have you ever come across anything that made you go, "What the fuck is this all about"?
No, because I think people like that go for vulnerable people, and they know that I would, same way as nobody ever asked me out because they were scared of me. And the thing is, it's like they know somebody like me who doesn't stand in the corner at some reception and, you look fearful and vulnerable. They just stay away from it because it is for vulnerable people who are looking for something in their life.
Don't they use the sex cult thing as an excuse, the satanic thing as an excuse to fuck around?
Oh, there was that... excuse me, there was that one sex cult here.
Nexium.
Where they used to brand women.
Yeah, and then the brand, they were like, oh no, it's a magical, powerful symbol, but the brand was his fucking name.
Initials, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd like just made the letters into like a shape.
Now, you tell me about those girls. What was going on with those girls?
Oh, I here's the funny thing about like the Nexium cult. Oh, oh my God, I'm just remembering this. I got fucking like coerced into a cult once.
What do you mean into a cult?
Like they basically, so I'm not going to say who, because I'm very good friends with this couple.
Oh, no,
but
they are.
No, you don't. But they participated in this cult called WorldWorks. And it's a full-on fucking cult, but they but it masks itself as like, oh no, we're doing like, we just teach you how to be a better person, and it does all this shit, and it's like, hey, you pay for this, and like the shit that you had to like do to like level up was like insane. Like someone, the person I knew had to pretend to be disabled and in a wheelchair, begging for money, and then after
You mean they acted out?
Yes, they had to pretend. So they got a wheelchair, they begged for money, and then when they would receive money, they would have to get up and go back and give the money back and be like, oh, I'm just like, I was lying to you. And it was like this whole thing to kind of break you down, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, when they first got into it, they're like, oh, it's amazing. You got to sign up. So I was like, okay, this seems like kind of a cool thing, because when they sold it to me, it was like, oh, this is like a kind of an interesting thing. But then I could never go to like the training. And they just constantly called and from different phone numbers. And then somehow they got my house number, and it was like fucking insane. And then like eventually I went online and I was like looking up this thing, and I'm like, wait, this is a full-blown fucking cult.
You know the original Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
They had a guy, he's a bottleneck guitar player, and they were touring with Sabbath. And we had a break on the tour, and this bottleneck guitar just disappeared, and it just fucking couldn't find him. And they eventually found him 3 or 4 weeks later. He was in this religious fucking thing, and he was like in rags and all that.
Is he still there?
I don't know what. I never know what happened to him.
It's crazy. Yeah, California has an insane amount of cults, apparently.
I can believe that.
I can believe it
Didn't
too.
that guy from Waco start in LA?
He did. And I just found that out recently. Yeah. What's his name? It was
Didn't they say he was Jesus?
David Koresh.
Yeah.
Did he claim to be
have
Jesus?
you watched that thing on HBO on the film channel, The Aftermath of Waco?
I watched the documentary about it, and I haven't.
It's kind of confusing, you know.
It's really fucked what happened there. Like,
but I'll tell you, the feds completely cocked it up.
You think? Like, guns are blazing, like.
But they didn't realize they were going to have. I thought they were going to go bang, 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 be and all that.
The FBI called the news, and they're like, we're going to go raid a cult in Waco, Texas. So if you want to get some good footage, come film. And they did it. They did that because they had such bad press after Ruby Ridge, which was like 4 months earlier. And Ruby Ridge is when they...
But then the Oklahoma bombing from what happened in Waco.
But wait, hold on. So they tell the news. So the news are waiting out by the compound, and the mailman comes driving up the street and is like, hey, what's you guys doing? And they were like, oh, they're going to raid the news look at him and like, oh, we're just waiting here because the feds are about to raid the cult that live there. The fucking mailman was a member of the cult, so he turns his mail truck around and is like, hey, we're about to get raided.
Do you think there was an accident that he went up in flames?
There's so much hearsay, and like, yeah, there is the recording where you hear
I
in the
can
background.
remember where we were when that was going down.
The Palisades.
I was lying in bed. It was quite a nice house.
That was a great house.
When I used to do my acrobats on the front of the car.
That was your
spread eagling.
That was your overall phase.
No, it was also the phase of the red silk shirt.
And no, that was
the white
Daddy's
suit,
wedding outfit.
Be gone.
Yeah, the white silk suit with the red shirt.
Be gone.
And the limo with the cowboy boots going to Lowry's, but that never actually happened. Mm-hmm. But it was a threat.
Yeah, the Waco thing was wild.
Yeah, but why did they have guns if they were a religious group?
Because the end was coming.
Yeah, but also they were ordering fucking military grade like grenades and all that.
Oh yeah, they had some shit.
You can just order a grenade.
No,
if you want a grenade, they had grenades. But the guy, I think somebody went and they said we need to see if your guns are fully automatic or whatever. And there was a box of fucking grenades next to him, and I go, like, what the fuck? So he got out and says, you got to go and check this fucking... There's fully also.
But not only was it a religious cult, he was having sex with all the women.
Yeah, and all like the young women too, apparently. Yeah. Well, why does it always go there? Why is it always like some fucking dork is like?
But he wanted to be a rock and roller before
he did, yeah, because he recruited. I guess he recruited some people out of Guitar Center on fucking Hollywood Boulevard.
But Charles Manson was the same.
Yeah. He and also same with Jonestown, Jonestown guy. He was also a musician. Wait, hold on a second here. We're onto something. Dad, now's the time to tell us. Are you a leader of a satanic sex cult? You can just tell us.
Can I just say, I think it's a bit insulting that we haven't been asked.
I think so.
I think it's really insulting. If such things do exist, I think it's so insulting.
Don't worry, after this podcast and you sign that, you're going to get a fucking invite.
Just there was a certain side of me that was a little bit offended when Harvey Weinstein, I was the only female in the Harvey Weinstein production that didn't get harassed.
It's because he knew Mom.
No, yeah, true. But I also think that what Mom was saying is right, that they don't go for weak.
They only go for
weak women. Yeah.
I watched the program one time on the TV, and they go into these small provincial towns around shopping malls, and they'll just pick on people.
Yeah,
there's certain things I look for,
Mm-hmm. Like licking windows and cross-eyed.
Oh no, licking cameras. Wasn't that guy licking a camera?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
The guy that was fucking licking his neighbor's camera for like 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Why?
No, it was the doorbell.
Yeah, it was the doorbell camera.
Was he on drugs?
Yes. Some fucking neighbor goes over to this house, and it's the craziest video I've seen. He goes to the Ring doorbell camera and basically is licking it for like 2 hours and like getting off on it.
Okay, getting off on it. Do you remember the Pikey?
The Pikey, what, the bar?
Yeah. Okay. The guy was arrested. His wife came home and he was masturbating on the cat while he was strangling it.
What?
The owner of the Pikey in Hollywood?
Yes.
Is this factual?
Masturbating the cat?
Hold on, I'm looking that up.
He was masturbating.
I'm looking that up.
He was strangling the cat.
He just wanted a bit of pussy.
It's revolting. Now talk about
do you want to hear something really sick? Speaking of cats, Mom's fucking cat keeps coming into my bedroom and pissing and shitting on my bath mat.
Wait, hold on. We're talking about the Pikey strangling a cat right now, not a cat shitting.
I'm just saying, while we're on the topic.
Chef Cohen of a Hollywood hotspot. No. Oh, no. Yeah, it's horses. It's not the Pikey. Or did he also own the Pikey? This is the guy that killed the cat.
Yes.
But he was also beaten off on the cat.
Yes.
Did you make that up, Mum?
No.
Hold on. Let's look this up real quick. A chef at a Hollywood hotspot, Horses, has been granted a restraining order against her husband and restaurant partner after she accused him of physically, emotionally, and financially abuse over the last decade, detailing incidents where he alleged torture and killed up to 14 animals. Oh my God. This guy is like the fucking Dahmer of animals. But did he also own the Pikey?
What's the Pikey?
I don't know where I got the Pikey from.
Yeah, why did you get the Pikey?
I don't know.
So let the record state that it is not the owner of the Pikey. It is an owner and restaurateur.
What are you from a
place called Horses. But wait, it doesn't say here that he was beaten off on the cat, just that he killed him.
Yeah, where did we hear this information from? I trust the source.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, it's right. It was previously a Hollywood favorite. Okay, hold on. The address, okay, it used to be the Pikey. Before that, it was, for 7 decades, it was Ye Coaches and Horses, which drew like, okay. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of right. This is exactly.
I'm questioning the beating off on the cat part. That's the part that I'm like, Mum, I feel like you just put your Sharon Osbourne flair on it.
I'm not.
And made the story.
That he was masturbating on the cat while strangling it.
Hannah, can we confirm that?
How can he strangle a cat?
It is true.
Thank you.
Hannah just found it. It is true.
How can somebody masturbate and strangle a cat?
One hand on the cat, one hand on his willy.
On his willy.
What if he starts masturbating in the neck and strangling his dick?
It's revolting, isn't it?
Well, like I said, sometimes he was just getting some pussy.
How did we get here?
Wait, this
that's
sounds
some
like
real pussy.
this guy sounds like he's in a fucking sex cult. This is a sex cult.
He's in the pussy cult.
This is a satanic sex cult act.
It really disturbs me every time you say pussy. Please stop saying it.
Who, me or Dad?
Dad.
But what if what if his favorite Bond villain is Pussy Galore?
Meow.
Wow, that's a fucking crazy story.
Isn't it?
What a psychopath. Okay.
Better than in the food.
That, you know what? That is a really, really good point.
What's in what food?
Better do it on the cat than in the food.
No.
No.
Well, okay.
Oh, when I saw that...
Okay, hypothetical. If someone says to you, here, eat this bowl of pasta with spunk on it, or let this guy strangle a cat, what are you going to do?
I'd eat the...
You're lying.
Oh, I feel like strangle the fucking cat. I'm sorry.
Well, the cat's dead.
It'd be fucking like a cat massacre before I fucking ate the bowl of pasta.
What could possibly get people off by strangling a cat? Do you know what it is?
Some tight.
It always leads. I
really
to
hate that you
humans.
keep setting the stage for them to be complete fucking idiots.
Well, I'm not. I'm changing the subject. What did I just miss? Why are they laughing?
Oh, Mum.
What did I miss?
You're both ridiculous, immature, and children, and I hope that you both never see a pussy again in your life.
What did I miss?
Mum, I'm getting you a chastity belt.
Oh my god.
Oh, stop. I'm fucking dying here.
Kelly, what was it?
It's nothing, Mum. Jack just made a stupid joke about a tight pussy, and...
Okay, let's move on.
You know what's great is your grandkids will listen to this one day.
It's disgusting. Move on.
So wait, what is the cat doing in your room?
Tiger Lily is coming into my bedroom nightly,
Mm-hmm.
going into my bathroom, and pissing and shitting on my bath mat.
Have you thought about strangling her?
Or taking the bath mat away.
Or masturbating.
I hate you guys.
Wait, maybe that's why the guy did it.
He kept crapping on his fucking bath mat.
We figured it out.
Go on, next.
The same cat, if anybody out there knows why do cats piss in sinks and down plug holes?
But house trained.
My friend had a cat that he trained to use the toilet. He had like this whole setup for it, and like it
I
trained
feel like
the cat.
Tiger Lily we could train to do
You
that.
could
I had
Totally.
a friend who had a cat, he trained it to masturbate.
But the cat would strangle him.
Moments like this is why I realize I'm dead inside.
Can we pivot real quick and get back onto some cults? Because I'm curious. Did any of you guys? Did you either of you ever meet anyone from the Manson?
Dad did.
I was at a strange house. I don't even know where.
Oh, I know. Okay, Dad first, and then
Okay.
I'll.
And these people sort of drifted in and says, I didn't even know what it was about. It was before the murder. And he goes, Charlie sent us. And I went, what? I used to give him drugs.
Really? So
Yeah.
they just rolled up.
Just come in, let's go. I went, Charlie sent us. Okay. And it's fucking weird. Weird, but people. Very odd. Like, when you meet these people from the cult people, they're like somewhere else,
Yeah. Mom, did you meet any of the Manson crew?
We met them on the
no.
road show. On the road, them people used to follow us around.
Yeah, but they were members of
The-
Charles Manson.
No,
I had dinner with Sharon Tate's sister Deborah, and she gave me a lot of information, and it's insane to think that those murders are still having a direct effect so strongly on living
Mm-hmm.
families.
we had a song on one of my albums, Bloodbath in Paradise.
Is that what it was based on?
Yeah.
I knew someone whose family member was the warden of the prison that Charles Manson was at. And because he was the warden, like and it was Manson, so he would go and like chat with him a lot. And apparently Manson, anytime a camera turned on, would just start doing his like crazy thing. But when the cameras weren't on and when he was just kind of left, apparently he was just like really subdued and like normal, but he just played up the crazy.
There was a guy on the news and he did some time in a jail, moving on. He went to the Manson jail. Then he was moved to another. And he's walking and he's waiting for his food. And Charlie Manson jumped on him and said, "Hey, dude, do you know who I am?" And he goes, "No." Charlie Manson says, I'm on, people know more about me than Jesus fucking Christ. You know?
Years ago, when I got a weird story about who was the Night Stalker? Was it the Night Stalker? Richard Ramirez.
Yeah.
So crazy fucking story. I'd gone. I went to Haiti during the earthquake, and I volunteered at Sean Penn's organization, and he was telling a story about how he'd got in trouble for he got arrested for something. Sean Penn did, and it was in like the 90s. I think he'd like punched a paparazzi or whatever. And back in the day, they had a jail where if you
he was in the next cell. Oh,
yeah,
right.
and he was in the cell across from Richard Ramirez because it was like essentially a private jail that you could pay to do your time in because it was safer, or if someone was like a high risk prisoner.
He's the Night Stalker, right?
Richard Ramirez, yeah. So Sean Penn was essentially across the hall from Richard Ramirez while Ramirez was on trial. And he said that Ramirez would like try and like talk to him and he would just be like, yeah, whatever, like, fuck you. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Didn't he turn and say, "Don't fucking talk to me"?
Yeah, he basically said like, don't talk to me. And he said one night he was like in his cell and they'd just locked it down. So they'd shut all the lights off. And he said he looked over and Ramirez was looking at him, beating off.
Oh.
And Sean Penn goes, "I wasn't going to cower away from that motherfucker, so I just looked him straight in the eye and just kept looking at him."
And he went,
Meow.
How fucking nuts is that? To just like basically stare down a serial killer.
yeah, but did you see that interview with him?
But for all you know, you've probably stared down a serial killer before. They
This
just
is
haven't
true.
been caught.
This is true.
Did you see that interview with him? And he goes, "Everyone's straight and all right." But when they caught him, he was begging them to take him away.
Oh yeah, because wasn't there like mob justice?
They were going to fucking lynch him.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, like they like chased him down
But
the
he was
street.
like, when he was captured, he was like, "I am the evil one."
Is he the one that was like half Hispanic?
Yes.
Long black hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked really evil.
Yeah, he was like a fucking
The
psycho.
one that got me was that fucking guy who was out there for fucking years.
My friend's wife actually got followed home by him.
By who?
By Richard Ramirez.
Really?
Yeah,
Who was
yeah,
that
nearly
guy,
killed her.
Jack? The other guy that used to go and rape and murder him and whatever. They caught him from a DNA thing.
Golden Gate Killer.
The Golden Gate Killer, yes.
He was going for fucking years.
Yeah. And they got him from essentially 23andMe.
He was like,
They got the fucking Zodiac Killer. Did you hear
No.
about that?
I
Oh,
did
they-
hear about that.
Yeah, they found out who it was. The guy died in 2018, but they had a partial DNA sample, and they pinpointed it to this retired Air Force guy, and everything checks out apparently.
wow.
Yeah.
But that DNA thing, it's really interesting the way they got a Golden Gate guy. Everybody with these certain DNA, they narrow it down. It's very clever stuff.
Oh, it's wild. I've thought like, do I do the girl's DNA, because there's all like medical stuff that you can find out from it, which is really beneficial. Like I know for me, like I'm at like a high risk for like glaucoma and like pancreatic cancer and like certain things which I never would have known about without doing it. And so there is an actual upside.
With the. I mean, what gets me? How did they know years ago to keep like DNA samples?
I think because it was kind of like on the cusp, they knew it was coming.
They must have known something. Because I get like fucking DNA from 1955,
It was.
Can I ask a cult-related question?
Yeah.
Would you consider the Illuminati a cult if said Illuminati does exist?
What's Illuminati called?
How do I explain? Okay, so they say the Illuminati, there's been going on since the Crusades.
Essentially,
Yeah, since the Crusades, and it is
a cabal of world leaders that determine how the
Oh,
world.
do you know what I've often said to you? Do the people that run the country really run the country? Or is there an invisible people that you never see?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you...
Yeah, that's essentially what the Illuminati, I think, right? It's kind of like...
But then there's like the whole TikTok theory of what Illuminati is.
Yeah,
but
and like everyone's always like, Jay-Z's in the Illuminati and all these like musicians, and you're like, you fucking are not. Like, the people that pay Jay-Z are in the Illuminati,
Yeah.
not Jay-Z.
medication, so I need to get medication.
Oh, we're talking about Illuminati, so Dad's like, oh, it's time for my medication. I have to leave.
Chuck, let me ask a question talking about... When does somebody say, "Oh yeah, it's a cult"? Or
I think it's because I think it often, I don't know what is the classification of a. Let's look it up. I'll
Why
give you
is it always involved with religion?
and sex. It's all about sex.
Because I think people want answers. People want to know what's next, and they're terrified. Really.
I watched this one on TV. I don't know. Maybe you know what the cult was. It's this guy from LA who had. Oh, remember talking to us? Remember when we went to that place, Chuck, you and I, and it was that guy with the frisbee.
Yeah. Yes. Kelly set that up.
Yeah.
Said
Satguru.
And do you know who he went to see him? Will Smith.
Will Smith. Hey, listen. He frisbeed that slap right out of his arm.
Yeah, but he could throw a fucking frisbee.
That guy could.
Oh my God, my hand hurts so bad. But I think that was one of our coolest moments.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it
but
was
what
so
about
weird,
what about that?
fun.
What about that church or whatever with a massive Buddha?
Yo, the big statue he had in there, the bust.
It was fucking massive.
It was like the largest busk in the country.
It was giant.
in McMinnville. I remember that. In McMinnville, Tennessee.
But there's more Bentleys than Rolls Royces hanging around there.
Was he Indian or Pakistani?
I think it was Indian.
Sikh.
Yeah, he was I'll tell you what, he's a lovely guy, and he was very insightful. I just worry, beware of the gold-clad guru. But wait, before I just want to, because we were talking about the Illuminati stuff. I mean,
because what I was going to say is, I've never really been invited to what I would consider like a sex cult or satanic cult or anything like that. But I can certainly tell you I have been in some rich people crowds that are very culty. Yeah. Very, very culty, where you're like, this doesn't, like, you guys have more money than God, and I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
It was alleged that in the 30s and 40s in Hollywood, it was run, so many sex cults were in Hollywood at that time.
Yeah. Well, Malibu, one of the reasons Malibu became what it is was because it was far enough out of LA to where the sheriff or the police couldn't get out there at night. So during Prohibition, it was kind of like they would go hang, they would drink, it was all about like underage sex and all that. So like Malibu's origins are the kind of Hollywood elite having this place that was 25 miles away from Hollywood that was, where they could get up to all sorts of shenanigans. But to that point though, yeah, like I know what you're saying about some of the kind of the super, some of the...
where money is not an option. People where they can behave in any way they like, because that to me is worse.
I will say though, I experienced that more in London than I have in LA.
Really?
Yeah. There was some like things and people and crowds in London that I kind of found myself in that I was like,
culty.
No, I wouldn't say culty. It's like the ultra super billionaire elite.
It's like when these people have the pussies. It's like the same.
What was the guy with Prince Andrew where they got all the kids?
Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Is that I've certainly never heard about any sex cults in Hollywood. However, I have heard about Jeffrey Epstein for years prior to...
Yeah. Who was the first person to tell me about Jeffrey Epstein?
That writer with Dad.
Yeah. It was Dad's writer who ghost wrote his book. And he told me, because he was a writer for the LA Times.
Yes.
And he told me, and he goes, wait until the story drops, and he called it Air Fuck One. And it was about, that's what they would call Epstein's plane when Bill Clinton was traveling with him. But you know what's really interesting about the whole Epstein thing? So Ghislaine Maxwell gets sent to prison for trafficking women, underage girls, you know, on the behest of Jeffrey Epstein. But in her trial, they never disclosed who she trafficked women to. And it's so fucked. And you're like, wait a minute. So she's gone to prison for trafficking, but who did she traffic women to?
But if she trafficked for Jeffrey Epstein.
But meaning, like, you know, when you traffic someone, you're bringing someone from somewhere, you know, from
but
point A to point B.
If I'm trafficking for you, I'll take them to you. You.
But they never disclosed who she was giving these girls to.
Yeah, but perhaps he didn't know.
Yeah,
They know.
know.
They were going to get her anyway.
What about that religion where they have 8 wives?
Mormons.
Yeah, Mormons.
Oh, no,
But
you're talking about Amish.
That's an established
No,
thing.
not the Amish. The women dress in like long flowered dresses,
Yeah, no,
and they have
that's-
long
Mum,
hair.
that's-
And in Salt Lake,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the but those are like the,
but there's
Well,
about
when you
sex.
think about it, Jack, when you really put it down to it, organized religions are on the way to being a cult.
well, yeah, I mean, you look at, well, what is the prime example? Scientology is declared a religion, but it doesn't get more culty than that, but it's somehow had enough money to where it got religious status. Like, you can essentially pay for it.
But you know why they call it a religion? If they're a religion, they don't pay tax.
Yep. I now am a religion. I
But you have to be-
I identify as a religion.
But you have to. It's not that easy.
Just for clarification, you know, there are like splinter sects of like the LDS Mormon Church, and those are the ones that believe in polygamy and like multiple child brides
Well,
and all
the
that.
guy who ran the one that got busted, he was having sex with all the young girls.
Yes, yeah, but they're like these crazy splintered off groups of like LDS.
It's always it's like this real, go down.
Well, it's just like any religion.
Yeah, I
There's
was
always-
about to say there's bad sectors of every
Yeah,
single
like there's-
religion.
like
I'm
there's-
sure there's probably bad sectors of Buddhism.
Well, yeah, and there is absolutely, like they fully are.
But
There's
they
like,
the people who get these people into these, because they must have a good spiel, and because they.
well, yeah, but I mean, but to that point, Mum, some of like the really conservative Orthodox Jewish, you know, Hasidics, you don't fuck with them. Like that's some. They ain't messing around.
No, they're not. And they won't talk to you anyway.
No.
Unless you're another Hasidic, they just deaf you.
Yeah. Did you see the guy that filmed himself going into a bank and he said, I identify as a millionaire. I'd like to take out $500,000. And they looked at him and they were like, excuse
love
me?
him.
And he's like,
Who
no,
is he?
I identify as a millionaire and I would like to take out $500,000. And he was having this back and forth with them. And they were like, I'm sorry, sir, you have to leave. Like, this is insane. He was just fucking around because, I mean, a lot in our society today, if you identify as something, you know, you think, therefore you are.
Yeah.
And so, he was saying, I'm a millionaire, so give me money.
That was in the Dave Chappelle, one of his live shows where he said he identified as an Asian person.
Oh, so he could make the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well.
Look, it's right here at the top of the page. I just saw it.
What does it say?
All right, where are we?
Look, current event.
Have you ever found yourself starting to be entrapped in a cult?
Fuck off. I'd beat the shit out of him.
What are your thoughts on the media sensationalizing cults?
I don't really feel like it's the media that does it as much as it is you love hearing a good story about something like that. It's interesting because you can't get your head around why somebody would literally give up everything and suddenly start having a new fearless leader out of nowhere. Like, what qualifies this person?
There's a guy.
The questions that it leaves unanswered that I think gets people so intrigued.
What was that cult where they had everybody was found in a bunk bed with no shoes on?
Heaven's Gate. And that website, here's the craziest thing. Someone, they don't know who, still maintains the website and it's still up. But anyway, we
Wouldn't
can
they
talk.
be able to track the?
It's through some LLC and they don't know who's running it. It's some weird thing where they think it's
Well,
one
do you have to
surviving member.
Do you have to register a cult then? Or something?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. I think you just
No
start
way.
it and just get followers.
There was
But can you imagine what the stink of that place?
I bet you could start a cult. I bet you if you came out and were like, followers, come with me.
No, I wouldn't. Because it's so fucking dangerous.
it's dangerous, but look at all these preachers.
But
Yeah, but John,
That's a cult.
you've got to be some kind of a born again asshole to be a cult leader.
but okay, we're gonna end on this though. When you're on stage and you're performing in front
I
of
know what you're
60,
saying.
70,000 people, and 70,000 people have turned up to see you do your thing, that has to feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah, but Dad's not there
I'm
telling
not
people-
trying to give them I'm not trying.
He's entertaining them.
I'm not going by 12 o'clock Friday if you don't buy me a fucking new house. Or
But you could see though, because you have a sane head. But if you were a little bit nuts, right, you could see how
But ego can twist. Your ego can make you believe that you are. You know.
Yeah.
See, I think televangelism, where they
That's what
tell
I'm
people,
talking about,
where
to
they tell
send
people
money.
to dig deep into your pockets and donate to whatever cause it
Well, there
they
was a
say
thing
that
I was
it's
watching
for.
about
I think that's
Tammy
culty and
Davis.
wrong.
That's what I was talking about. They are cults, you know. And who were the two that
Tammy
got
Faye Baker.
busted?
Tammy Faye Baker.
Tammy Faye. She was.
And the
sorry,
other one you wrote the song about,
Jimmy Swaggart.
Jimmy Swaggart. Yeah.
Forgive.
And again, it's all sex crimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it caused him coming out of a fucking brothel, and he
Who
goes, "Forgive me, Lord, for I have fucked a cat."
Who was the one that got busted with like meth and with a man?
Oh, that was Chris Burrows, the news guy here.
No, there was an evangelist guy who got busted smoking meth with a male prostitute in like a motel somewhere in the South.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, listen, we could talk for literal hours about this. We are unfortunately having to wrap this up because I have to go see Pearl do a recital.
I'm coming.
Yeah. But I think maybe for the next episode, we might dive into a bit of a true crime thing.
Yeah,
Talk
okay.
about some of our favorite
It's been
crimes.
very interesting, this is.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway has been strangling cats and jerking off.
Yeah.
Kelly, what's your takeaway been?
Strangling dicks and masturbating cats.
I'm strangling dicks. Jesus Christ.
I don't have any takeaway.
Okay. Well, on that note, make sure...
I need to go upstairs and look after my baby.
I need a shower, I think. Okay, so if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please click like and subscribe.
Just want to say, you set the tone for this by talking about Mum having nuts in her mouth.
You know what? I did not talk about that.
Yes, you did.
Please click like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening this on a podcast, make sure that you tell everyone. And if you want to find this, we are everywhere where you can get podcasts. So have a good one. Everyone want to sign off? Say bye?
I'm just saying goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. I hope we didn't confuse you today.
I'm utterly confused.
I'm just
I
gonna
came here confused.
go home and cry now. All right, bye.
You started this.
I'm going to find the cat.